Hello everybody, welcome back to New World. In this Mark II video, we are going to go over leveling up your weaponsmithing skill. A few things that we need to talk about. Firstly, probably going to say something controversial because we're going to stick with low-level crafting. And secondly, I'm going to point out a bug, so make sure you pay attention to that. Either way, we are in Everfall. This is where I prefer to do my weaponsmithing. This is because this little area over here to the west is my favorite iron farming area, and that is going to be the crux of both weaponsmithing and armorsmithing, so you're probably going to want to do both here. But this is literally just go around in a circle. There's like iron all along this side, there's one up in this corner just here, one just kind of at this little entrance looking area, iron all over here. That's going to be the main thing that's going to slow you down the most. In addition to that, then you're also going to need to have some wood, which you'll need to refine into timber, and you're going to need to have some rawhide, which you're going to need to have refined into leathers. So you do your refining at the stations, so that's where you get your hide from. This is where you get your wood chop from. It's as simple as coming over. I don't think I have any actual ore right now. It's as simple as coming over and pressing. You'll have like a little drag across, which you'll see in a second. Press craft. It'll turn your iron ore into iron ingots, which we can then use for our crafting. So moving into crafting then, there are a few things that we need to talk about. First things first. To get weaponsmithing XP, you're going to want to craft anything that has the weaponsmithing icon, which is this hammer against the anvil just here. You'll see down in the bottom right, it tells us how much weaponsmithing XP we're going to get. If you don't have this item, don't worry, this is a quest-related thing. We are going to talk about this momentarily. But first up, we're going to talk about the actual standard weapons that you will be able to craft straight away, which is basically anything that has this 0 along the right-hand side. You pretty much want to ignore the wood longsword. It doesn't give you any crafting XP, and then all of the others will give you varying types of XP. Bear in mind that the cog here is going to give you engineering XP instead of the hammersmithing XP. Now for the bug that we want to talk about, the iron round shield, which I did my original video on. A lot of people didn't like it very much, so we are replacing that video with this one. For some reason, when you craft it, it gives you armorsmithing XP. Let's see if we can just demonstrate that quickly right now. So as of time of recording, this could change. Gives armorsmithing XP rather than weaponsmithing XP. Don't know why. It doesn't even give you the icon that it's giving you the XP. So just bear that in mind. That could change. Maybe the icon will change and they'll fix it. Maybe it's supposed to give weapon XP and they'll fix that. But as it stands right now, this is bugged, which means the item they're going to recommend that you craft is the iron rapier. The reason for that is because the bigger weapons give you 17 experience per iron ingot that you use for your craft. And the iron rapier, or let's go with the smaller weapons here, give you 17.1 XP per iron. I know it's not a lot, but when you're crafting thousands of these, it's going to add up. And it's just going to mean that you'll have to spend less time gathering the iron materials to max this out. And the reason we're sticking with these low-level ones is because, for whatever reason, when you go to the higher level crafts, they give you less XP per iron. So as an example then, if you go to the steel round shield, you can see it needs 8 steel ingots, which requires 3 iron ingots each to make. So that's the equivalent of 24 iron ingots, which basically means this gives the equivalent of like 13 XP per iron. So avoid this. Don't bother coming down here. The only other honourable mention then, outside of the quest item that I just had a second ago, is the weak honing stone. Obviously, if you guys can find a good place to farm moats, then this can be a pretty good alternative for you. Obviously, the stone blocks you can get from pretty much everywhere. But I couldn't find a particularly good place for the fire moats. If you are looking for a decent place, you can usually find them down to the south just here. But I just haven't found a very good one where you get a steady amount of them. So, I've already obviously said this. I'll go ahead and I'll craft these at the end so you guys can have an idea as to how much XP we're going to get. But, so this one here then is a quest item. So I'm just going to meet you guys over at the quest board, which is over this way. Okay then, so over at the quest board then, as you are doing your rounds, you want to keep an eye out for these weaponsmithing quests that you can see just here. If you don't have any, they always seem to spawn in these leftmost slots here. So make sure that if you have something there that's not these, and this is what you're farming, so let's say, for example, you don't actually want an armorsmithing one, you could cancel this, and let that reroll into something else. No, we're going to cancel that, let that reroll into something else. Obviously, it resets in 23 minutes. There was something else there. And you can just have this target the skill that you want it to be targeting, which is kind of useful. And then I will go back to the forge, and we'll go ahead and we'll craft one. Back over to our crafting screen then. You can see we have our pillaging iron armaments here, and the list of items that it needs to be crafted. Obviously, as you can see here, 10 iron to 1200 is like 120 XP per iron, so just way better than the average crafts that you can do. Obviously, it could be an option for you to save your resources and just do this every now and then if you wish to. That way you can go about doing something else, save your resources, and just kind of level up a little bit more steadily. Like so. Or if you kind of want to go a bit faster, you can go ahead and craft some of these. So we'll go ahead and we'll craft a load of these just because I want to show you guys a few bits here. So we'll craft like 10. So you can decide how many you want to craft, obviously. As your skill level goes up, the minimum and maximum gear score will rise. Obviously, it's not really going to change very much because this is the low level stuff. Now, of course, I don't want to sound like I'm excluding the ability to craft any high level stuff. If you want to craft stuff that you can like use or sell or something, that's up to you guys. But in terms of just like pure getting XP, this is probably what we're going to want to do. So once we've obviously got how many we want, we're going to do this. Now, something to note is, obviously you can let it just go slowly like this, or if you click the screen, you can actually speed this up a little bit, which allows us to get to the end a little bit faster. I'm still going to skip forward slightly though. So once we get to the end, we're faced with your crafting results. You'll be able to see any abilities or anything they've got. If you have any particularly good ones, maybe you'll try to sell it. But in general, I don't really do that. So obviously from here, you're probably going to want to salvage it, which is going to get you some iron back and some repair parts as well. Again, this is kind of slow. So what I recommend that you do is press on salvage and then press enter. This is going to allow you to do this way faster, thereby giving weaponsmithing XP. So those are probably the three options, I guess. That's what we'll go with. So you have the board quest, iron rapier, or the honing stone. That's pretty much everything I can think of in terms of what's going to help you with your weaponsmithing, help you to get it up a little bit higher so you can craft better stuff. Hopefully this is helpful for some of you guys, and I'll see you all in the next video.